Okay. Professor Dubey has done his PhD long back in yoga philosophy and also participated in many scholarly research work in many institutions on yoga and also philosophy, yoga philosophy and some other philosophy. Okay. Recorded. Recorded now, so it is silent. Myself and Professor Dubey, we are working in Indian Council of Philosophical Research for more than 80 years. You are my senior, very good person, and you can say that ICPR or Indian Council of Philosophical Research, where research in philosophy was going on, and more than 800 researchers were working and linked with this council. They were working, and Dubey was one of the legs, and I was another leg of ICPR. So ICPR was running because of me and Professor Dubey. Okay, so he is very cordial, very kind, very knowledgeable, and he has practiced yoga from his childhood onwards. So he will be our speaker for today and also coming here. So let us listen to him and practice whatever he will say. So I invite Professor Dubey to speak to our students about the wellness of yoga or yoga in the overall wellness. Thank you, Professor Dubey.
My very humble namaskar to all who are here physically in the classroom at Department of Philosophy, Utkal University, and those who are here in online mode through Google Meet, as well as the program is very nicely arranged by Dr. Saroj Kant Karji with live tube streaming also, and I do see that students are observing that also. So this is a program regarding the wellness, and as I start with the wellness, and when we feel well, when we feel comfortable, when we feel satisfied, when we feel satiating from all corner or walks of life. So like wellness is some kind of willingness, some kind of fulfillingness to us, and in this program being sponsored by Indian Council of Philosophical Research, which is a body under Ministry of Education, Government of India, for the promotion of health and awareness, and the yoga, which is the Indian tradition, Indian culture, originated from India. So this program, as well as Dr. Saroj himself, I think mic should be muted, Dr. Kar, because that camera will be switching otherwise. Mic should be muted from your side. Mic. Dr. Kar, mic should be muted.
Mic should be
this computer's mic only. Yes, laptop mic only. That's on. That's fine. That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it happens now. Fine. Let us proceed. So Dr. Saroj Kant Karji, who is now heading the Department of Philosophy, and as well as he has been in Indian Council of Philosophical Research also, and also it is my privilege to share that we have been colleagues for over the years, as well as contributing and also sharing our thoughts on philosophy as well as yogic practices. So we are here with this program, and during this rainy session with which this program is now being arranged even so good. So let us begin. And what exactly we are aiming here and I shall try to also give some presentation to you what we are going to talk here in this program. And also this program is very well representing how a class or how a group of people can be combined in all four modes, that is live in a class, as well as in the Google Meet, as well as from YouTube. So it's a good effort, and I congratulate all the organizers in front as well as backward, and also all the faculties of the department, especially Manoranjan ji, who has invited last two programs also for the yoga there, and Nandini ji and rest of the faculties of the department. So let us begin, and I shall try to give one presentation. So I start. So I think now it is visible screen. And as you see, we are talking about the health, wellness and awareness. And this program is wellness. And we are here in our modern days. Let us try to summarize. I try to summarize something. We are in the modern age of science and technology. So here yoga exactly is what? It refers to the science of health, happiness and harmony. So yogic previews are wide, and these are the portions of which I would like to specifically focus upon, proceeding for our discussion on wellness, and also giving an understanding of as well as theoretical and practical of yoga through our path of understanding health and wellness. So yogic previews are widened up to the normal restoration of health, and using yoga techniques as therapeutic system up to the spiritual realization. But yoga has been much popular in modern days as the science and art of holistic living, which includes all. So holistic, it means including all. And as we all know that this year this program has been organized at 75 places, being the 75th स्वतंत्रता का हमारा जो 75वां स्वाधीनता दिवस है, that it was held all around the country on the places of historical importance. So our honorable Prime Minister, how we have come to this Yoga Day, I think it has also come upon to the earlier session in 69th Assembly of United Nations. Yoga is an invaluable gift from our ancient tradition, and it embodies unity of mind, body, thought and action. So where we are seeking our wellness in our mind, our body, our thought and action, and together we call it as a holistic approach. This has been presented before the United Nations, and this has been accepted by its assembly, and through it proclaimed as an international yoga day. That is what we are having, this word international. Otherwise we have several kinds of days also. So this yoga, which is attracting for the holistic care system, and what exactly the definition of health in a modern and international scenario, particularly by the World Health Organization. So health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. This is the definition by WHO. And a state of well-being, what we are seeking, the wellness, can be at physical, mental, social and spiritual level. So I will again and coming back to these four levels and various aspects in day-to-day life which that we are living with and we are coping with. So the health of all people is fundamental to the attainment of peace of our society, our family, and all around the circle through which we interact and we come and meet and we act according. The extension to all people of the benefits of medical, psychological and related knowledge is essential to the fullest attainment of health. So that is what we are here discussion on yoga and health and wellness. It is obvious that a lifestyle can be considered healthy when it gives maximum satisfaction in establishing all around harmony with forces which govern our life, which in turn provide good physical and mental health, growth, potential and finally the joy of living. That remains at the end of the day. Holistic approach of healthcare includes the following point, that is the preventive, promotive, and curative health. But here in our yoga as a health system, we have as a basic aim is not therapy, but incorporating yoga into lifestyle brings health, harmony, and happiness, and act as a potent preventive, promotive, and curative healthcare system in many of the psychosomatic and lifestyle oriented diseases. What exactly the lifestyle oriented diseases? That we have immediate causes, like we are the gradual increase of the this diabetes, which is basically the lifestyle oriented disease, our stress, and so many other causes which are causing the anxiety, lack of proper sleep, lack of appetite, indigestions, constipations, and so many other that day to day we at some extent or some percentage everybody feels in their life. Yoga strives to provide better health in all aspects. So we have 5 principles of healthy life described in Ayurveda or Vedic science of life. It's ahar, vihar, achar, vichar, and vyavahar. And 5 things to maintain healthy functions of body wise: inception, digestion, absorption, circulation, and elimination. So yogic practices for holistic healthy living may be sum up as: we have the yogasana or yogasan, asan, relax and tuning the muscles, massages the internal organs, flexibility, stability, and sthir sukhamasana, that we have been listening about the definition of asana from Maharishi Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Similarly, the pranayama, that is the slow breathing and regular flow of prana, which is the vitality, vital force that we feel at every our points or cell in our body, full of living experience, and our wellness also rests upon how much we feel each and every point of our experience within our body, and we can make it as a healthy. So we will see in how we can do it theoretically also subsequently when I finish this presentation. And meditation also. This meditation, as Dr. Carr has asked me to let us have some practice on meditation. First, it's understanding, and then how we can do in our day-to-day life, and why we should do meditation, and which way we can descend into the our habit or our way of doing or our actualizing, that we are meditating also, and we are gradually healing our own self also. So that also we will see. And kriyas, various kriyas are there, shuddhi kriyas, which eliminates the toxic materials from our body, and bandhs and mudras, like when we have acquired a kind of path that we can retain our own selves, our energy channels, and our systems tuning on that juncture of or that point of paths. Here, what is the bandh and what is the mudra? Mudra is manifestation of that inculcation of our energy levels or energy channels, where the bandhas, where these re-energizations of body channels or energy channels or vitality or states of vitality, which are bandhas. Basically, Jalandhar Bandh, Udyan Bandh, and 3 bandhas have been explained in Yogic Shastra. And this mitahara, which regulates both body and mind and functions at gross and subtle levels respectively. So this mitahara means what should we eat and what should we avoid to eat, so that this body as a mandir or temple, where we are like we go to the temple and we offer our prayers, and we become also, we pray for the same thing, we grow for the same thing, or we ask for, or we submit our own selves to there to become something. So this mitahara, what we intake, so that we become healthy, our health and healing process, which is the very basic meaning of health, means healing. So this healing process can be initiated, should be restored, and should be boosted and propagated in a way where we are feeling well. So what exactly is the wellness? Let us proceed, and I here end this simple and general introduction of my presentation. So we are back again here, and as we are to talk here about the wellness. And I hope that I am audible to all. Dr. Carr, then I begin. I hope I am audible to all the class. Dr. Carr, then I should continue. As the video is not visible of the class.
Yes, sir.
Uh, this is the message from the class or message from the Google Meet? Rajeshwari, you are in the class? Should I continue? Okay. So let us proceed for our understanding of the wellness and why we require wellness. Well, because we have just seen the definition of health, which incorporates the wellness or well-being. Yes. Now the video is on of the class.
Actually, I am bringing the mobile, this laptop to another room, a single room, because it was a resounding.
Okay. Because so many actually students might have joined from the mobile, so all should be asked only to watch the YouTube, and they should come out from the Google Meet, so it will not echo.
They are doing the same thing. I have told them to come out of the Google link. They are watching in that YouTube, but because of many mobiles running together, so resounding.
Okay. Should I continue or we can wait for a voice?
Continue.
Yeah.
No, continue, please.
Okay. So let us start with the very basic proposition or a simple question to all of us, as we are on discussion of a well-being session or wellness session. Why we do require wellness in our day-to-day life, and is it exactly that something new or something that we are not doing in our daily routine, or is it what that after knowing it can we improve our our day-to-day life experience and our overall functioning, our activities, and our overall potential and power, and background to that, our health and restoration process. So this wellness and well-being encompasses and includes all these kinds of queries and addressing to its in a way a kind of solution also, or a kind of various answers to these queries. So how we start our daily day-to-day life, we wake up, we come to the university or to our places, and we have several our accomplishments and our tasks that we need to accomplish, and then whole this cycles repasses several different kinds of activities. In all this process, there are those points where we feel that we need to cope up it, and this coping up generates the kind of shallow of breathing or increase of our respirations or changing the rhythmic pattern of our heart, triggering several kinds of our hormones, either positive or negative, to our glandular system. And at the end of the day, if we become satisfied, if we become not satisfied through the kind of dream or through the kind of our internal recuperation of our system during our night, during our sleep, where our system go for mending of all what we have done in entire day, for making it again our day whole energetic, a full and bright day, full of energy day. So this end of the day, this end point of the evening or the night before sleeping, we should be composed, we should be properly healed at, and during the night also we should be properly healed up, so that next day in the morning we should be again a whole energetic, whole feeling well, workable. So this entire thing requires a feeling of wellness, a requirement of wellness, and a point of wellness where we should rest at the end of the day, and we should become or begin our day with this wellness. Where this wellness is decaying or decreasing, or its loss is there, or not properly maintenance of this wellness, or achievement or accomplishment of this wellness is not there, here we need to become aware. And if we are aware properly, then we are in properly track of healing. We are in the properly track of our ahar. We are in properly in the track of management of our stress levels. We are in the properly in the track of management of our negative hormones. We are in the properly in the track of overall our composite health, which we call, or which we have just seen, the holistic, our healthy and holistic living. So this holistic or all in encompassive sense, when we become aware about these states, where like when we are standing somewhere, I'm just giving one small example. If it is sunshine, we try to find out where we can find a shade. If we become tired or after long standing, we try to seek these sitting positions, or a chair or a bench, or where we can rest upon. So also this is the overall this well-beingness, where it is getting not properly filled up. So we need first to aware about it, in the way that where we are stressful, what exactly the stress is there, and how we can reduce it, and how we can make our own self by the philosophy of yoga. Philosophy, it means we already in the study of philosophy particularly. So understanding our own mental situations, our own selves, that we do celebrate international that World Philosophy Day also, this reflection or anuchintan, or what exactly we are and where we are proceeding. So this overall, the knowledge of philosophy helps a lot understanding our wellness, our own states, our own situation, and our own bodily positions, and various states which are leading towards the derailing or disorders, health disorders. So on this juncture, on this point, we can manage and we can prevent our own selves for getting detract on the path of the health. Here, what is the significance of the preventive health care management, as well as in contrast the promotion or propagation of wellness in other hands. So here what is, we are having the yoga as a preventive cause of our health and awareness when we talk about the philosophy. Now let us see how practically, because we are to talk here for 30 to 45 minutes also, and also the practically how what we can do exactly. So let us take some example, and let us try to practice it in our day-to-day life and realize our own states of disorders, or where we are feeling challenges to our health or healing system, or our overall well composite. हमें एक अनुभव में जैसे अच्छा लग रहा है, and when somebody comes and says that you accomplish this thing, you do that thing, and whenever we are used to that, we are habitual to that, we quickly and easily take over that task and we accomplish it. But when there are the requirement that we need to learn how to do that, then we need to inculcate some kinds of skills, some kinds of higher practices within ourselves and entire our own system. Like we are in the MA previous year, we have the 4 paper and another 4 papers are coming, then another are coming. So in all 4 semesters, we have been reading and we have been inculcating or generating a kind of knowledge within us. And this knowledge is not the what are the written words in the books, but they are the knowledge or realization of these situations which are related with the higher wisdoms in the this real world. So this is what is the philosophy. So I am just giving one example how we need to inculcate the things, and on this generation or this inculcation of knowledge or any other kinds of works, our wellness should be maintained at in between of this entire process. If not, then at least end of this process. So what we have lost through this our juncture or this our venture of our all kinds of work or workmanship, at the end of that task, we need to maintain our wellness, and we should be able to realize what has been at the loss of that also. So what at the end of the work, end of the day, if we are not feeling well, I mean to say overall satisfaction, I mean to say satiations, I mean to say that either in terms of eating or in terms of recreation or in terms of whatever we feel at the end of the day, that satiate us. And this satiation, this contentment, this feeling of pleasant, this feeling of healthy, this feeling of fulfilling, these all words are there in the whole sphere of well or well-being or wellness. So how do we do though? And how, whether we are providing the opportunities of to the others also to understanding it and facilitating this is what we understand and call as the human rights also in international scenario. So anyway, we are not going to on that, but let us proceed on to this word about the general and simple understanding of the wellness, how we can maintain it. So I will try to illustrate with some kinds of yogic practices, some kinds of or asanas and pranayams, and finally to the meditation, which is the very basic required discussions on this our this simple this session. So when we do practice asana, which by its definition is sthir sukham asanam, and other definitions, asanena rujohanti, pranayamena patakam. This rujata means disorders, heaviness, not wellness, and also uh, in other ways also. When we do these several body postures or various practices, because several asanas or bodily position or postures have been advised or have been described in the yoga or yogic texts. There are more than 200 Sanskrit texts in digital format with me, as well as I think more than 600 or 700 original Sanskrit texts, particularly based on yoga. They are already there. So these asanas, and one encyclopedia of asana is also there, where more than 2000 asanas have been described, as well as in yogic text in Hatyo Pradipika and also in Dhiranda Samhita, particularly 32 asanas have been described there with their techniques and what impact on health and wellness and over the disease they are impacting upon. They are there. They are the traditional or ancient Indian yogic texts. So in a this informative this 1 or 2 minutes about the asana, what exactly asana, because four particularly or five particularly bodily postures. First is the standing postures, then we have the sitting postures, then we have the our on lying on our back or on our stomach, and then inward postures. So these are forward bending, backward bending, side bending, twisting, several bodily position, and through these, what happens? How our wellness shall be maintained? Let us try to understand. Like we have been, how our day mostly goes. Like we are mostly walking, or we are sitting, or in the night we are flat, lying upon on our bed. Maybe it is properly resting position of the body, or maybe while in our sleeping habits, maybe it not the proper giving the rest, but in a long run it will cause some kinds of bodily disorders, particularly the physical or musculoskeletal disorders. So this asana practices, which basically aims for toning our muscles, our systems, which are the circulatory system, as well as affecting several energy chakras, or in modern terms we say the glandular system. And center point is this, that our spine or spinal cord, through this our spinal cord, all our nervous system, or our that each and every point from finger of the hands to the toe of our legs to the mind, they are connected. So these all fibers, our nervous fiber, like our, we are having our room, and all kinds of electricity wires are going from one place to another place, and they are giving the electricity, and we are then able to see that the bulb is getting illuminated. We are seeing the light and other power supply is there from one corner to another. So also in the same way, our nervous system flows from our spinal cords and reaches to the each and every organs and cells of our body. So this asana practices, which have been discovered by our sages, our rishis, over the period of thousands of years of the time, which you see in each and every sculpture and historical monuments, they have been depicted there, only for the cause that for whenever the persons or those who are coming there, they will see it, and they will further invoke to that kind of bodily process, and inculcating and revitalizing their body, mind, and their channels of energy. So these are the asana particularly for that, and that is what it has been stated clearly while practicing the meditative asana, because we are going to talk about the meditation also, that you should sit straight, spine should be straight, your neck, your head should be straight. Why? Because your this nervous system, nervous channel, your nerves channel should be like when we flow a water pipe, and when we kind of twisting is there, so the flow of liquid or flow of water should be proper. And in the same way, our straight, our spinal cords, reed ki haddi, these are basically practices in the asana, meditative postures, in forward bending, in backward bending, in twisting. So several kinds of asanas are there, and when we practice them, so what we are lacking, let us come to that for our wellness session. In our standing postures, basically we happens to be in our day-to-day life, that is maintained. Our what is called the standing or the postural defects, where we are standing with our hanging like head like this, or our shoulders are not properly maintained. So this posture connection from standing postures to the sitting postures, and all kinds of our muscles, our coming inside our own body, our own cells is restored by the asana. That is what is the definition of by the Maharshi Patanjali in second part of the Yoga Sutra, is Sthir Sukham Asanam. So this is what is the definition. This is how the significance of this, and this is how the wellness is maintained. When there is a sthir sukh, means the continuity of the well-beingness. This is what the definition we can say in a sthul its artha as the asana. Let us proceed further to the pranayama also, and I will try to then move over to the meditation. In a similar way, the pranayama, the pran, apan, vyan, udan, and saman, these are the five pran and five upaprana also. These have been discussed since the time immemorial. We have discussions on them in the Upanishads and onwards to the traditions of the yoga and other like Buddhist traditions and other Jain tradition and other so many traditions away maybe the similar to the pranayam, to the other kind of practices, like we are having the vipassana in Buddhism, and we have the swara sadhana in Shaiva darshan. So these are there, and there are several words like Ida and Pingala in Kashmiri Shaiv Darshan also, in Pratyabhijna Darshan also. And so this our, as we know, in our nostrils there are we have the two holes in it, and if we come to understand the significance of these, so these are the two swara, left and right. So left is ascribed. I invite the attention of all of our young mind and energy who are there in our any kind of platform, YouTube or Google Meet, or in the class live also. So this left and right, our these nostrils, they are related, and they have to be discovered within our own selves. So well-beingness has to be discovered, and this well-beingness is maintained. I again stress upon it. Maintain through the pranayam. How we can discover it? See, whenever there is a stress, whenever there is a change of one work, one situation, one position, one kind of mind, body, our socio-physical existence to the another, the change of the rhythmic pattern of our breathing is affected, and it has to maintain. Why? Because through our this pranayama only we are sending the O2 or SpO2 or oxygen to each and every cell. How much deeper is our breathing? How much emphasize we are with our this pranayama or healing system? In the same amount, in the same proportion, in the same percentage, we are having the channel of our energy channel and flow of that with our each and every cell through our nervous system. We feel it, our each and every point of our body. And when we start pranayama, again I give the practical aspect. When we start the pranayama, we again come whole experiencing our body. Outer consciousness, extrovertness will go away, and entire feeling of our own body we will try to re-establish within our own self. Let me give one example. While in the first arrival on on this world, infant starts breathing, and with this breathing, entire whole bodily existence, whole experience of every system, every channel starts with. And prior to that, that infant becomes the feeding on the mother's aid. So this respiration, this our pranayam practices, I invite all of our young energies, when starting from the left nostrils and exhaling from our right nostrils. This is how the pranayam or nadi shodhan pranayam is started. And this left nostril breathing has been described in Swara Sadhana or Swara Yoga text and other yogic texts very auspicious. This is where our all reflective, meditative, intellectual and sattvic gunas jagran happens. And with the right nostrils, all kinds of our heavy works, all kinds of you can say the cruel task, or all kinds of where the lot of amount of energy is required, they are done. And while these swaras means left and right, this Ida and Pingla, which is another nomenclature, or Surya and Chandra, this is another nomenclature of these both nostrils, are maintained, or their equilibrium is maintained, where the body, all our wellness has to be maintained. Because, and why? Because our left brain and right brain, which is also called as our activity portions and our emotive portions, they become balanced. So this our rhythmic breathing pattern to the balanced breathing pattern, when we practice the pranayama for few minutes in a day. Or let me again give you another example. Suppose when we are feeling stressful, we are feeling that we are exhausted, we are feeling we are very much tense, what to do, how to pass this time, what to do when we are unable to. Some people start biting their nails, some are very much perplexed, nothing knowing. At that moment of time, if you start doing the alternate breathing practices, say for a kind of 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, or as much as you require. So there, on that moment of time, I'm just giving one example, you will feel composed, you will feel rather relaxed and hormonal channel in such kind of situation when we are perplexed, when we are overstressed, when we are harming in a way, psychologically hurting our own selves. We don't know, but but we at a time we do it, and negative hormones are triggered, and we feel stress, we feel anxieties are so much there, which are now the part of day-to-day life of each and every one. So with this practices of pranayama, our left and right brain becomes santulit, and our harmonic channel also, our ability to cope up such kind of situations also becomes maintained. And overall, at the end of such kind of practices, in a long run or in a VR practice, our wellness is maintained. This is how we discover the wellness, this is how we are able to restore the wellness. So this is what we are talking about, the wellness in our this session. And this pranayam can be practices at anywhere, like we are sitting. If you require, we can practice also this alternate breathing to the kapal bhati also, which give the push of our energy from our lower channels to the higher channels, to our energy, to our heart, and also our digestive system, and also our this bhati kapal, arthat our own face, our matha, our forehead, it's brightening, and also removing the impurities of like asanen rujohanti pranayamin patakam. So this patak, which is the deteriorating or taking the downward, these are get away from the practice of pranayama. Let us finally come to the meditation, and then we will finish. What exactly is the meditation? And as we have been listening to these words, very attractive, and as we in general understand, whenever this word is uttered, meditation, like somebody is sitting calm and quiet, and his or her eyes are closed, and where is the state of consciousness, nobody is knowing, because from observing that kind of person who is in the state of meditation, what exactly is going within his own body and mind, we are unable to decipher. So how to practice the meditation, what exactly the points of body or our attention or our chitta should be resting upon, and how our philosophy is beneficial towards maintaining the stability of mind and body. This is also we shall try to understand within our discussion of meditation. So before we proceed for our discussion on meditation, there are so many other words also. Let us see, like concentration and ekagrata also, that is much demanded while we are studying. Everybody is telling ekagra hokar adhyan kijiye, and try to focus upon that. That also, there should be a focused attention. So where this focus or point of focus or focal point should be there, as we read in physics, there has to be a focal point of a lens where its energy, like we have the convex lens, concave lens. So there is a focal point where its light is coming and focusing upon, so that the energy is focusing upon. Therefore, how in the convex lens, if we keep it at the sun, and we are focusing it properly on, say, kind of paper or kind of dried leaves, it will start burning after a few seconds, because energy is focused. This is how what is required our in the search of meditation within our own self. What point of mind and body we should focused upon, we should be attentive upon, the level of our consciousness, the points of our consciousness should be that where our entire mind body existence is tuned. I'm giving another example to understand much simpler way, like you have seen the horse cabbage or horse cart. One is having the lagam. It is on our hand, or let us in modern our world, we are having the car or our bike. So the steering in our hand, and we are having the experience of our accelerator also and brake also. So how easily we are traversing or we are traveling on the road and enjoying the journey. So in the same way, the center point of focusing of the attention should be known within us, to ourselves, so that while meditating upon it, meditating is nothing but focal point, as I have given, of a lens, that where is that focal point where we are re-energizing our entire existence. If we are aware about that, then we will have the fruitfulness, or with another word which encompasses everything, as I have been re-repeating in this discussion, the wellness, this wellness of our own self. So at the end of the day, or in the beginning of the morning, why the puja session? Why the daily sanskar session? Why the daily, what we have called the Surya ko jal dena, or we say in the focal point of day and at the evening time, where we have used to have the Gayatri, or another word, the Sandhya, that our old people or our old generation, our Dada and Pardada used to do. Sandhya kar rahe hain. What they used to do it? Have we understood it? Now this process has some kind of declination, and it is getting इसका लोप हो रहा है, and it is now not in practiced in the younger generation. So I am why re-relating it, because we have not understood it and we have left these practices. So this Sandhya, this Upanayan Sanskar, this puja that we are doing at home, or we are at re-energizing our own selves, they are all well connected, well together, and they have been restored in our daily day-to-day life with several kind of practices, several kind of offerings, several kind of muhurts, several kind of occasions, several kinds of our festivals, and in other kind of initiations, where the point of re-energizations and wellness. Why there has been so many festivals? Because of the change of weather, of the change of mood, or through the festivity, we should all recuperate within our own self this wellness, and we should proceed in our life one after another over the years, and over these stages of life, from brahmacharya to the grahas to the vanprastha to the sannyas, as has been in our ancient Indian traditional system, they can be really passed upon. So with this little introduction, let us see what exactly the meditation is and how we can do it. And before opening this, our how to do so, I say, or I invite attention also alongside the several kind of prerequisite of this. I mean to say prerequisite of this with again the same example, like for the focal point, we need at least to have one lens. We need to have at least the daylight and sunlight, and we need to have one object where we are going to focal our power of the lens. So at least we understand in the scientific language these three prerequisites. Similarly, in our own body, when we are going to meditate upon it, we need to understand what are the sadhak tattva and what are the badhak tattva. These have been discussed in the yoga, and in Patanjali Yoga Sutra also, they have been discussed as kind of another, what are the in the yoga sadhana, on the yoga practices, they come again and again and detract our yogic practices. So 11 kinds of things which are disturbing or detracting our practices of yoga, they have been discussed. So not going upon that, I am just because this is not a very Sanskrit or very specialized lecture, but how to just to just to initiate the awareness and invite, and then gradually we can grow upon our practices of our yoga and pranayam and meditation. So for meditation also, with these small prerequisites where we understand what are the badhak tattva and what are the sadhak tattva. Sadhak tattva incorporates what a kind of fooding, kind of atmosphere. Suppose there are the sounds, so that will detract our attention. Suppose some kinds of chintan, some kinds of our tensions are going on, that will also detract. So you have to attend them properly, like I have given the practice of pranayam. So you must or one must balance of their chitta first. Balance means rhythmic pattern, breathing pattern is balanced, posture is calm and quiet, mood is properly, and a state where we have our finished our foods quite ahead, so that the digestive system or inner body, our which are the processes which are going on, they are also in a way that are facilitating our space, our attentive or our meditation requirement. Having had all these kinds of things, where we shall be proceeding. So this is what exactly is the center point of meditation. We, as it has been stated in our text in the Bhagavad Gita, there are the 2 points of meditation. First is the Nasikagra Drishti, another is the Bhrumadhya Drishti. These are for the higher kind of sadhana and ultimately to the our Brahmarandra, which are ultimately state of samadhi. So these are the higher state, but in day-to-day life, what we need to do so that we can energize our own day-to-day life and become prepared, healthy and well-being or wellness for our another day. For that, we need to, I can give the example of our Yoga Nidra. And this is also a kind of, you can say, a meditative scheme where we feel energized or energizing our own body and mind. So in the form of Yoga Nidra, from the toe of our legs, we start feeling of it. Each and every point of our toe or toes, our 10 toes, and going upward to our ankles and our knees, our thighs, our stomachs, and from the fingers to the hands, to the arms, to the shoulders, to the chest, to the stomachs, to the our neck, forehead, cheeks. So in that way, each and every portion, every cells, every experience of the body is done. Why? This is how we are re-energizing ourselves. This is why how we are focusing the energy channels on our own body. This is the one way for re-energizing our own selves. And if it remains in practice, so like when we think about something and it triggers in multiple practices, so that if this practices remains in a way that we have maintained this kind of our meditation of our own body, our own each and every cells, there are the 72,000 nadis have been discussed or envisaged in the Yoga Shastra. So these nadis, which they are in the purest form, they are purified through the practice of Nadi Shodhan Pranaya, through the Suddhi Kriyas or Shatakarmas, and we proceed, we are fixed or stabilized in the practice of asana, and after the practice of pranayama, through the practice of pratyahara, it is what exactly is the pratyahara. Our energy or sense organs will become restored, our own body at the one point, and onward to that we start the process of dharana and dhyan, that become the same point of same point for our dhyana. And this dhyana is, although being stated as one point, but this one point is like it is a center point or is point of a central of the sphere or a circle which is connected with all. Having said so, I invite your again kind attention and serious attention on this central point. If at all any requirement of any cell, any system, any feeling of the body, immediately it fulfills. I mean to say, channelization of each and every point of our experience becomes attentive, live-in, and energized while the practice of this meditation, and one point where our center of attention happens to be in the process of meditation. So this Nasikagra Drishti or Bhumad Drishti, these are the two words, Nasikagra Drishti, Bhumad Drishti, but this is the center of, or this is the, what you can say, where the all energy channels are connected and they are lively connected, so that they are restored, they are vitalized. This is how one yogi or one person in the state of meditations become stable, stated, sitting postures for a period of few minutes to the hours, and at the ancient time for the periods of days, and for whatever period when the periods or the time becomes जहाँ समय नहीं होता है, जहाँ समय की गणना नहीं होती, that is the state of samadhi. And how the person again come back to the state of normal or in day-to-day life after these states of meditation or the state of samadhi. So I think I have been able to explain the process of meditation, and importantly, that center of point of attention where we become lively our own entire existence. And this not only the internal, again I am inviting, it is not only the internal or only in the body, but external also, in a way when we understand or when we have the harmony of all entire consciousness within our own selves, and we are not having the conflicts, although this is a light, but a conflicts with the others. So entire harmony is created. This is how in a way holistic experience and mode of living is maintained. This is what exactly the yoga is aiming for. This is how the yoga philosophy is encompassing all kinds of our living experience, and it is promising more and exclusive in other way of doing the exercising or other kinds of our healthy practices. This is why the yoga is having the one upper hands. So I think with this humble words, I have come across with this our wellness session. Let us have in sometimes in another day or another session with our progression of the practice. And I am thankful for the presence of all of you. My humble namaskar to all, and thanks. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Back to Dr. Kar and all the faculty members and our students.
Hello.
Yes, yes, please. Yes,
Hello.
please.
So are we coming to the conclusion?